Reality show contestants are the lowest status people on TV. They're usually accepted as being just the worst kind of people. I mean, after all, there's usually cash prizes that you can win by just being willing to be around them. They're the only people besides politicians that it is universally acceptable to despise. They're a kind of cultural punching bag. You can make fun of them for being stupid and trashy and raising alcoholic dogs. It's so acceptable to make fun of them that you can even do so to their face on television, as Piers Morgan here tries to do, before absolutely own-goaling himself.
No. Do you know Pythagoras' theorem to the nearest 5 decimal places?
Do you?
What's your favourite colour?
Do you?
Colour.
Do you know the Pythagoras theorem to the
I do
nearest
actually,
5 decimal places?
3.147 is certainly the first 4 digits.
So,
Now I can understand feeling hatred when watching a dozen overly Botoxed failed actors bang in a mansion, because I'm a normal person who feels normal things. But I think if we take the time to appreciate the social skills these people have to develop to get where they are, that we can come to think of them in the same camp as people who stack cups really fast or speedrun video games. People we all kind of think are wasting their potential, but we don't despise them for it. Let's talk about what the people who go on these shows are, because they're not regular log-hauling Joes like you and me up at the crack of dawn with our miners' caps on. No, these are amateur, competitive influencers. We all know people chasing that influencer life. They seem to go on 50 vacations a year to beautiful vistas where they take photos of themselves obscuring them. Give all their thirst traps a little dusting of Photoshop, and somewhere in the cycle of them not actually living the lives they're posting and you being jealous of the lives they're not actually living, cash is generated. Somehow. I failed economics. And there's a lot of people chasing that influencer life because it seems easy and great, and because it's easy and great. But it's not something for nothing. The people influencing do have to put more effort into their presentation than you or I do. We've all gone out with friends for drinks and had to turn it on for a little while. You smile more, you crack a joke now and then. You generally try to be a version of yourself that anyone would want to spend any time with, as opposed to the garbage person that you really are. You and I get to leave fun us at the bar, whereas your influencers have to carry it with them on notice at any moment that someone might take out a phone, because they've opted to be part of an online, never-ending high school that includes everyone, and their worth is determined by whether or not they're one of the popular kids. But influencers only need to live in short spurts of unreality. It's pretty easy to post one salad that advertises the sort of person you want to be. A very different thing to be filmed from dusk till dawn and have to be on all the time. That is a social challenge that you would have to be incredibly socially talented to even consider taking on. To go up in front of 1 million people, most of whom are just tuning in to hate you, in an unfair terrain where producers are going to be trying to make you look like an idiot, and still saying, no, I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to be able to convince enough of those people to like me to convert that audience into followers. Because that's the real prize. Sure, the shows usually have cash prizes, and 100 grand would be nice, but 500,000 followers will set you up for a lifetime. And the people you see that make it to these reality shows have developed a myriad of skills to make people like them. Every one of these people is their own wardrobe, their own hair and makeup, their own hype man, their own personal trainers. At the level that you've made it onto one of these shows, every one of these people can cut a promo, can play a character. It's WWE out there. It's WrestleMania. They have accepted and internalized all of the skills that make one high status. And we can say that it's not the sort of thing you should admire someone mastering, but you can't say it's easy. It's not easy for anyone. Whatever else you think of them, they have learned to prepare themselves for public consumption in a way that you or I haven't. And yes, most people in these competitions come off badly. But it's a competition. And in most competitions, most people lose. It's a statement of confidence in one's skills that they're even willing to show up to the pitch. Let's take a look at one of the kinds of challenges that might be thrown their way and watch how these weird social mutants handle it. This Titanic tattooed 10 is named Terry. He's a red flag of a person from Love Island, UK. Now all you need to know about this encounter is Terry went on his show, met a woman named Malin. The two of them agreed to start dating, became boyfriend-girlfriend. Malin gets kicked off the show, and then the next day Terry starts banging a new 19-year-old that came into the house. The producers of the show brought back his ex-girlfriend, Malin, to confront him live on air. Now before I play this, I want you to think about what this would be like for you. If you definitely cheated on your girlfriend on camera and she got to confront you about it on national television, it would be the worst day of your life. On shows like Cheaters, we see people crying and fighting and screaming, their lives upturned by the event. Watch how Terry handles the situation.
You were wanting to come out of there with me.
Yes, I know I was, but then I had to reflect on things. I spoke to the boys, and at the end of the day, it was still my time in there. I can't just fucking walk like everyone else. I still have to prove to myself.
I know that, and I was supporting you for it.
Yeah, I know, but it didn't work out like that, unfortunately.
The first thing you'll notice is Terry has mastered the ultimate human power, truly not caring about the other human being. He's so blasé during the entire encounter that you kind of accept that he hasn't done anything terribly wrong, because this isn't how guilty people behave. Emotionally, you just say, look, he's not bothered, I guess I'm not either. He shows so little reaction that Malin feels the need to remind him that they were boyfriend and girlfriend, as if he's forgotten what was happening yesterday. But this emotional blank slate is actually smart, as human beings have a tendency to align themselves with whoever seems most calm. If Terry doesn't blink or flinch or acknowledge the situation has any power over him, then we all accept it does not. As many reality contestants have figured out, you can just say you don't know me, and then I'll just continue to not. He uses all sorts of sly social moves to get through the encounter. He asks her loaded questions. He turns the encounter back on her, making it about what she might have done to have lost him. For any of his failings as a human being, there's no doubt he's handling this better than you or I ever would. If you were confronted on TV about cheating on your girlfriend, that one day would be the worst event in your whole life, and this person is striding through it relatively unaffected. He's still got his 100,000 subscribers at the end of the show. But here's the thing. For all of Terry's skills, he didn't win his season. Because he's a 10-foot-tall fuckboy, and as awesome as that is, no one can identify with it. The winner of his show was a hilarious fire-breathing stripper/magician's assistant who seemed to fall in love with her now husband in the course of the show. You can't compete with that. No one can compete with that. The ultimate trick that's played on these people is that after a lifetime of them learning how to appear high status to get on these shows, they are ultimately judged by their ability to seem normal and likable to the audience members at home. And normal and likable are the only things that they are not. So yes, these reality stars may not know the capital of anywhere or how to spell anything other than their own names, but you should respect the level of social challenge that they are willing to take on. These people are gladiators dying on camera for your amusement. Recognize the insane world they're competing in, the skills that they are competing with, and while you don't have to want to be like them, you shouldn't want to be like them, we can at least recognize them as the hyper-social athletes that they are. I'm Dean Rule, and this has been a video.